What do you think of the getup, huh? A little bit different on our final show of the season on SoCal Prep Report. A little tribute to my favorite singer, Josh Groban. This is our final show. We're going to go a full hour. I'm Randy Rosenblum, your host. Tarek Fatal of the Daily News. We're going to wrap up the entire prep year. We have great guests. This is going to be a lot of fun, Tarek.
I'm looking forward to it. My getup's a little more casual. I went with the dad sweater, expecting my first child in July. It's going to be a baby girl. Just figured before we end this year and I head off into summer, I go in with the appropriate, title.
I'm disappointed. It should say future dad. The dad is a little, you're moving ahead there.
Jumping the gun a little?
Yeah, July 30th?
Correct.
Hey.
Wow, Randy, you listen. Wow.
I do.
Wow.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Very excited.
You've been milking that now for how long?
Yeah. That's going to be about 9 months here in a little bit. Yeah.
All right, let's talk some regional softball. We just had our regional championships in softball and baseball conclude. All the sports are done. So let's start with D1. Poway gets a victory over Oaks Christian 1-0 in the regional final. Poway's a very good team. Mia Garcia got the RBI single to win it, and the Titans are the champions.
Not so much surprising that Oaks Christian lost. This is a championship game. There's got to be a winner. There's got to be a loser. But their only shutout of the whole year came in the most important game of the year, I would argue, and tough way to go out. But Cheyenne Coyle did a great job taking over for Peter Ackerman at Oaks Christian.
Really did. Tremendous job by Coyle in her first year, a near miss, but Poway wins the title. Now I got to go to D2 in softball in Santiago, out in that area, Corona, where they have so many great athletes. They win a CIF state regional championship, well-deserved, and they got a great performance from Emily Delgado, who you're going to meet in a moment. 5-0 for the Sharks over El Capitan there. Emily Delgado pitches a one-hitter, goes 4 for 4 in the game as a hitter, and her last time up hit a home run.
That's a remarkable performance. I think it's so great to see big-time players step up in big moments, and especially in a finals game. What more could you ask for?
And we're going to have the coach, Chris Cisneros, join us as well. But let's be honest. It's all about Emily Delgado. 10 for 10 in the regional playoffs. Are you kidding me? Anybody could coach that team. All right, let's move ahead and talk about the next division, D3. Fullerton over Otay Ranch. It was not close. This Fullerton team really came on at the end of the year. They finish up 26-7. They handle the Mustangs 7-0. They have a great ninth grader pitcher, first baseman, Finch. She's tremendous. Malaya Majam Finch. Wonderful player, one to look to in the future, and a big win for Fullerton.
It's always nice to see freshmen. That's another one, they call them diaper dandies. Dick Vitale did. And anytime you get an outstanding performance from an underclassman, that's always going to help your team. And in this case, she might have been the best player on the field.
D4, Holtville. You don't cover Holtville, do you?
Yeah, never been out there. Not even sure. I could not point it to you on the map.
Well, I'm going to tell you they won. Okay, that's about all we know. They beat Santa Paula from Ventura County.
There we go.
There's the score, 6-3. They won their final 10 games and finished 26-5, did the Vikings.
Hot start for Holtville.
Okay, speaking of a hot start, Kennedy La Palma had a great start to the season. They were going to go in the regionals, one of these lower divisions, but 4 of their players performed in an all-star game in Orange County. So they had to pull out and never had an opportunity to get in there.
It was the SoCal regional baseball, softball schedule. Man, there was a lot of teams. I don't know if I felt bad, but I just kind of saw that there was a predicament. Some of these teams got invited to the regional playoffs because other teams bowed out or didn't want to do the invites. And they thought their season was over. So players decided to play club, participate in all-star games, and then they realized they're not eligible to play. So it shakes things up.
Yeah, and Kennedy La Palma, had they been eligible to play, because again they had those performers perform in an all-star game in OC, would have probably been in that same division with the likes of Holtville and Santa Paula. So unfortunately they were unable to play. The last regional in softball we want to talk about is Madison of San Diego over Verdugo Hills, the Dons of the LA City section. A great year, but I'll tell you, this Madison team, 25-5. In fact, they had a game in the playoffs, the Warhawks, where they scored 26 runs.
I think for me, I know a little bit about Verdugo Hills, not too familiar with Madison, but Verdugo Hills, anytime you see these city section teams get more games out of a season, they just continue to win and extend their season, it's always a good thing. They come up a little short in the final.
You know what's a good thing? We have Coach Cisneros and we have Miss Delgado about to join us. This is going to be fun because the Sharks won a state regional championship. This is a great credit to these players and, of course, the coach.
Well, I'm interested to talk about, Coach, about kind of that second, third, maybe even you could call it a fourth wind, because so much of the season is long already, right? You play your non-league, you play your league, then you play the sectional postseason. Then they had to wait around, if I'm not mistaken. Then they had to start their regionals. It's just a long time anticipating to play those big games, so interested to hear what he has to say.
Let's bring in our guests, live and direct from Corona, California. This is going to be fun. And talking to Chris, soft-spoken, good guy. And, of course, there's Emily Delgado in a car. It looks like she's in Honolulu, Hawaii. But she's in a car. Chris, congratulations. Did you see this coming? Did you feel like once you got in the regionals, you could win the regional state championship?
Absolutely. I believed in, and thanks for having us, but absolutely, I thought we could take it all. I believe in my players. We just need to get in, and once we get in, we can take off. And that was a narrative that I had for them all season. They just had to believe, like I believed in them, and we did amazing things, and we had a wonderful season, and we were coming home with the state title. And last time since we had it was 2013, so glad we were able to bring it back home.
That's awesome. Emily's in her car, and it sounds like they're beating drums there. She's got a fan club because she did so great during the playoffs. Now, how, Emily, on earth, can you pitch a one-hitter in the championship game, go 10 for 10 in the regional playoffs over a 3-game span, 4 for 4 in the final game? How did you accomplish this? How did you get that done?
I don't know. I'm still in shock that this has all happened. It's been a dream of mine to just come out and win a title like this, but I couldn't have done it without my team and the support from my coaches, family, and friends. It's just honestly been a really fun ride, fun experience. It was all about the mental game, and my mental game has gone up, and this whole experience has helped me learn so much, and it's made me a better person, so I'm just really glad this has all happened, and yeah.
Coach, talk a little about waiting. I know after the sectional playoffs, there was maybe a week and a half, 2 weeks before you ended up playing in that regional first game. Talk about what you guys did and getting the team. Was there a lot of downtime? Did you kind of let them rest a little bit? Were you at it every day? How did you mix up buying that time before playing that first regional game?
Well, we went in a deep run for the CIF playoff and make it to the finals, and coming up short after having a phenomenal run. I felt that we just needed some time. So I gave them some time off, about 4 days off, and then just kept it light. Went to practice after school, and finals were happening, so a lot of stuff was happening for them. And I know how hard these ladies work all year throughout the summer with their travels and their showcases, and I really didn't want to burn them out. So I knew we just needed time to just get away from the unfortunate loss in CIF against Campo Valley and just regroup, refocus, be loose, have fun, and with knowing that we had all the games away, we just had the fun bus rides, singing and laughing, and just kept it loose, and that translated onto the field where they were loose, not tense, and we were able to play our game and no pressure, and we were able to take it all.
Coach, what was the reaction on campus when you won the state title and you came back to school and everybody said, hey, there's the champion coach and star player in Emily Delgado? What was the reaction on campus?
A lot of support, all the admins, everybody, head custodian Sonny, who helped us, and his partner Charles, who kept our field top notch. They were so happy for us. Teachers and other students just came out and just really supported us and really congratulated and really proud of us to bring home the title for softball. Because softball has always been elite at Santiago since the beginning, back in '98, and I'm just glad I've been able to get the trust from admin, Dr. Torres, Mr. Mitchell, and they put the trust in me and to bring back that status. So we're back in the conversation with the likes of Norco and Roosevelt. So it's been great support from everybody from the top to bottom there.
Emily, talk about bouncing back from the CIF playoffs and having to kind of look forward to the regionals. Coming up short, like Coach talked about and alluded to, but trying to rally the troops to know, hey, you know what, we can go win a state title. Talk about that transition there.
Yeah, like you said, coming up short was a really big thing for us. Losing that championship game gave us a kind of a boost. We wanted a second chance. You know, we weren't done yet. We really wanted to prove that we can win, we just didn't get this far for nothing. We wanted to go out and do a job, and I'm glad we got the second chance because I think it was a big wake-up call, and it was a good second chance.
Speaking of second chances, Emily, I know you're going to Southern Utah, but they're losing a lot of people at Oklahoma, which just won its third national championship tonight. Are you going to reconsider and maybe join the Sooners next year?
No, I'm really happy where I'm at right now. I like the little small town college life where I'm at. I like the coaches and community, so I think I'm good where I'm at.
Yeah, and coming from a small town like Southern California, I can understand that. Chris, nothing small about the championship. Congratulations. We appreciate you coming in on SoCal Prep Report. Emily's an absolute doll. You're a good guy, and you deserved winning the championship, and we really, again, had fun having you aboard on our final show of the season. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you for having
us.
All right, you guys take care.
Good people, man.
Yeah, we get good people on the show.
It's good to have good guests on the show, Randy. You do a good job, man. I want you to know that I appreciate you booking these guests.
I've had some help, but when I saw Delgado's stats,
that's remarkable.
That was it. That changed.
I don't think I've ever seen that before.
Yeah, that immediately said to Randy, you got to get her on the program.
Yeah, that's amazing. What was she going to repeat those? 10 for 10? Yeah, that's fantastic.
Yeah,
that's
10 for 10 in 3 playoff games. All right, we're going to get to our baseball people in a moment. We got a couple good ones from Calabasas. I like Coach Cassidy. He's a good dude. You like him? Tom Cassidy.
I do. Very, very lax guy. Going to be the new AD at Calabasas
You're
next year.
We're going to have to ask him about that.
We're going to have to talk him about that.
Yeah,
more responsibility for Thomas Cassidy.
Got his junior pitcher, too. Jordan Kingston's going to be here. But before we get to those guys, let's talk about these regional championship baseball games in Southern California. We had some good ones. Santa Margarita, that powerhouse team out of the Trinity League, they beat La Costa Canyon, just a powerful program from the San Diego area. Eagles finish 29-7. You know what we forget about Santa Margarita? Because they didn't win the CIF title. They didn't win the championship.
Right.
They beat J. Sarah twice during the regular year and won the Trinity League.
Emily was talking about a second chance, and that's what Santa Margarita got. That's what they got. They came up short in a fantastic Division I final, by the way. That game was unbelievable. Went into extras the whole 9 at Blair Field in Long Beach. They rally the troops. They get a second chance. They go on to win the regional title.
Calabasas had to go extra frames, but they win the next division we're going to talk about, which is D2 over Santana. Jordan Kingston pitched 3 innings. He's going to be our guest. Here's some highlights. Luke Olson also combined on the shutout, throwing 5 innings. Tyler Schulman got the game-winning hit.
This is the last out, and the celebration ensued. Calabasas, the regional champions. And you know what shows character about this accomplishment is that they had previously lost to South Hills, I believe in the semifinal, Division II semifinal, and they had to face South Hills again in the regional playoffs and beat them. And then beat Santana, and that Santana team beat Crespi. So, I mean, that was a quality ball club. Calabasas took them down. 8 innings.
8 innings.
All
our games are, all these games were one-run games in baseball. It's unbelievable. Here's another great one. Westlake 3-2 over Bakersfield Christian. Bakersfield Christian, by the way, that's the school that had Derek Carr. That's where he played his football. 3-2 the final score. Ethan Bolger, 2 for 3 and an RBI.
Westlake's another great story. That's another Marmani League team. So the Marmani League won 2 regional titles this year, Calabasas Division II, Westlake Division III. And let's not forget, I always have to mention it, I'll probably mention it for the rest of my journalism career when anytime baseball comes up. Westlake was in a 17-inning baseball game against South Torrance. It took 2 days to complete. And, man, what a season those guys had.
Division 4, Canyon. Not the team from Santa Clarita, but the one from Orange County. The Comanches win a one-run game, 6-5 over Crean Lutheran. Another terrific game, but you see that the Comanches win it. They were only 3-6 in their league, the North Hills League, but yet they go on to win their final 10 games and win a CIF state regional title.
They're probably a good case of playing good ball at the right time, and that's what happens, right? You play in a tough league, and you just stick to it. You don't deviate from the plan. You keep working hard, and while other teams begin to flounder or, whatever, lose focus as things happen late in the year, you get stronger, and that's what happened.
9 innings for Castaic, but this was a Cinderella story
Yes,
that
it
had
was.
to end the right way. They win in 9 innings over Ganesha. Phenomenal game. What a story.
Yes, Castaic only in their second year of varsity baseball. We've got the footage here. They were down 2 runs coming into the final inning, which was 9 innings, and an error. That's 1 run right there. This ball gets thrown away, and here comes that second run, and they win the regional title. Daryl Davis gets it done for Castaic, the head coach. A great, great story. They won the Division 6 CIF championship, and they go on to win the Division 5 regional championship.
What's great about them winning, they've only been playing varsity baseball for a couple of years.
Correct.
And Daryl Davis was on our show recently, and he was thrilled with the progress.
Oh, man.
And they're going to move up a few ranks in the
Sure,
divisions.
sure.
But what a year.
They're up for the task. I mean, they play in a foothill league, which is, West Ranch, Valencia, Saugus is a tough out. Hart is really, really good. So it almost doesn't matter. They're in Division 6. They may go up to Division 4. They're still playing Division 1, Division 2 teams in that league. They'll be just fine.
Let's talk Calabasas baseball. We have Mr. Tom Cassidy and his fine player. Oh, there they are in the same picture. How good is that? Jordan Kingston. Gentlemen, welcome to the program.
Thank you for having us on.
Thank you.
All right, let's start with the coach, Coach Cassidy. Are you as nice as your brother, the football coach at Kennedy High School?
No, he's a way nicer guy than I am.
I love it. I love it.
I don't know. All right, first of all, congratulations. Calabasas has had some good teams in over the years, but this is a great moment to win a state regional title. Tom, what does it mean to you to take the team this far and get this kind of championship?
It means a lot. This is a really special group of guys that we had this year, and for them to finish the way they did and end up with a regional title is just really great. We had 10 great seniors that led us, and I was just really happy to see them finish it off with the title.
To follow up, Tom, talk a little bit about, people don't know, for those out there, this was your first year at the helm again, right? This is like kind of your second stint as the head coach at Calabasas, correct?
Previously took a couple years and then first year back.
So to come in, Sean Court was the previous coach. Now he's over at St. Francis. You take over. You have such this successful year. You win the Marmani League. Talk about taking over, and is it a reassigning of culture? Is it tweaking a couple things? Can you talk a little bit more about how maybe you made this your program, but not trying to move too much because you had some talent, maybe some continuity there already?
Well, first of all, I think Coach Court deserves a lot of credit for what he did in his 2 years at Calabasas. He really got the program going in a really great direction. Obviously, me and my staff coming in, we had our own little tweaks and our own style that we put on things. But a lot of the coaches were the same. I'd been on coach's staff, so the players were familiar with us, and we just kind of sprinkled in our own little style on certain things. But again, I think Sean Court deserves a lot of credit for where the program's at as well.
I think we need to ask Jordan a question. He's been sitting there patiently waiting, having to listen to his head coach. All right, Jordan, talk about the year for you, your maturity as a junior, and bringing it all the way to the end of the season where you pitched very well in the regional championship game. Explain your year to us.
It was such a great year overall. We played so well as a team. We got hot right when we needed in that Oaks Christian series. I think a big part of that was our defense and our hitting and our pitching all just clicked all at the same time. We had all such a good year overall as a team.
when they watch you pitch, let's say I come out and I want to watch you throw the ball, what do I see? Why do you get people out?
I think I have pretty good command and a good slider, good off speed. I think it all plays well together.
What's something you feel like you need to work on, Jordan? I've seen you pitch. You're very talented, but we're always trying to get better, right? What's something you know you need to work on from the bump?
I'm trying to get my velo up this summer, big summer, going into my senior year, trying to gain some miles per hour.
Coach, where do you go from here? What's next year look like? Obviously, the guy right next to you is going to make life a little bit easier for you next season. What are the prospects for Calabasas next season?
Yeah, I think we return a lot of what we had on the mound. Our shortstop, Nate Castellan, who's a really good player, comes back. Obviously, we have some key losses. We have some younger guys ready to step up. And, as I've done this for a while now, each year, each team, has to find a way to take on their own identity. And we'll get to work on that in the fall and the winter, trying to get ready for the spring and hopefully have another successful season.
Jordan, what was other than winning the regional final, because I'd imagine that would probably be your answer, what was probably the best moment for you this year?
I'd say for sure winning league, that third series against Oaks when we went down 1-0 and then win the second and third game and winning it. That was just so special and such a good moment to share with the team.
Last question for the coach. Before regionals, and I know you go on to win a championship, do you like the extension of the season? Do you like the length? The fact that you have to play in regionals now? It used to be in the good old days, the end of the campaign was your section championships. Do you like how we've expanded over the recent years?
Definitely. I think it's a really good thing. A lot of other sports have had it for a long time. I know a lot of people worked really hard to get this for baseball. We were definitely excited to be a part of it. Obviously, we had a tough, disappointing loss in the semis to a really good South Hills team. This allowed us the opportunity to bounce back and get another shot at them and to finish it off with that third win of the week. 3 road games in 1 week was a tall task, but it was great that our team was up for the challenge.
Well, guys, congratulations. And I'm not so sure, Tom, that Troy's nicer than you, your brother. I think you're a pretty nice guy. And we know one thing, the Mr. Kingston over there, he's a really nice guy, and we appreciate him coming along. I'm sure he's going to mature into quite a hurler next year in his senior year. Had a great junior year. Best of luck to you, Jordan, and Coach, thanks a lot, and congratulations.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks for having us. We really appreciate it.
You got it. Take care. Good group of guys. Calabasas, solid program.
The Coyotes. Yeah,
they're howling.
That was a fun program to keep an eye on. That I kind of forgot about that. They went into that last 3-game series in the Marmani League, and I think they needed to win 2 of the 3, and they lost the first game, and they won the final 2 to get that league and share the league title with Oaks. So that's a nice moment there.
Do you have your think cap on?
Thinking cap, sure.
Yeah, is that what it's called?
Yeah, I think it's called a thinking cap.
I got to think about it for a while because we're going to go over a lot of different teams, a lot of different sports, our year in review. I've already thrown one of these pages away. I mean, we got a lot of stuff to cover. We're going to take a brief break, hear from Pacific Surfliner, and be back in 30. A lot of papers.
With the people you love most. Southern California has always been a land of discovery. From historic gems to iconic beaches to top attractions. Let the Amtrak Pacific Surfliner be part of your journey as you explore more of the place we call home. Reconnect with the communities you love most, with the people you love most. Isn't it time you rediscovered Southern California?
It's time to review most of the different sports. We already talked a little bit about softball and baseball, but we're going to go back to the football season. And we'll start with St. John Bosco, the Braves, who had a magnificent year, lost 1 game in the Trinity League to their arch rival Mater Dei, but they got them back later in the year in the tournament and went on to win the state championship.
Jason Negro, the head coach, I mean, you're talking about a guy that runs one of the best programs in the country, not just the state, the country. The Braves are always sitting around the top 1, 2, 3 in the country when it comes to the national rankings. It doesn't matter if it's Max Preps, USA Today, ESPN. St. John Bosco is always in the mix, and for good reason.
Yeah, Cameron Jones, their brilliant running back who's coming back, had 18 touchdowns. Clarkson, the quarterback, Pierce Clarkson, had a great year, earned a scholarship to Louisville. They're just a program that's always very good.
Exactly. It doesn't matter. And seniors leave, and you're always like, okay, things are going to change. And the underclassmen and the depth of those programs always seem to rise up and be so talented.
For most of the year, we're talking about Mater Dei, not losing games over the last few years. So we have to talk about Mater Dei. They lost the championship game to Bosco, but they only lost that one game, and they were the Trinity League champions. And they did have Elijah Brown, who's coming back, and that's his only loss as a quarterback. The Mater Dei Monarchs are always great.
Elijah Brown, I think he's 27-1. Is it 29-1? Okay, I mean, this kid is super, super talented. He's going to, he's in the lineage already of all those great Mater Dei quarterbacks from years and years and years. I mean, he's going to be the next guy. And there's a lot of people that think because of him alone, Mater Dei is the team to beat next year.
Well, they got all the receivers back. They, too, have another great running back returning. They are absolutely loaded. And they weren't just a story on the field. Off the field, Bruce Rawlinson, their head coach, after a long, long session at Mater Dei, better than 30 years, steps out, and he's replaced by Frank McManus. That's an interesting hire. He was on staff with the DBs. He knows the program. They were a young football team. They're going to be the favorite this upcoming year. They're absolutely loaded with Brown and all those receivers and tremendous guys on defense. Not that Bosco and Corona Centennial won't be great, but that'll be the team to beat.
The question for Mater Dei, at least from my perspective, is McManus, are things going to get dialed back over there with the Monarchs, or is he going to keep it ramped up like it always was under Rowley? What's going to happen over at Mater Dei? That's the big question. And I'm not even, are they going to be as good or not as good? There's a certain way that machine operates, Randy, and is McManus going to be the guy that keeps it oiled, so to speak? We'll see.
Well, I think the oil will be fine next year. I think it's in years to
fair
come.
enough.
He's got everybody
fair
coming
enough.
back from Rawlinson's team. So they're going to be powerful next year. Years to come, that could change.
Gotcha.
You're right.
Gotcha.
All right, let's talk about another team that's rolling in the city section, the Birmingham Patriots. 3 in a row, they wiped out Garfield in the championship game. It was supposed to be a year that Birmingham wasn't going to be good, that they were down. They weren't down. They won easily, and they had the star player in the city who's going to return, Peyton Waters. He had 25 touchdowns.
Jim Rose was telling me he coaches softball as well. His daughter, Jessica Rose, plays on that. And I saw him in the spring. And I said, hey, what's up, Coach? How's football? He goes, in my 20-plus years at Birmingham, he was an assistant under Ed Croson for forever. Now he's the head coach. They've won 3 city titles in a row. He said, I haven't had this many high-level Division I coaches at my spring practices ever. They're all out to watch Peyton Waters. That's how talented he is. So not only will he be the top prospect in the city next year, fair to say, right, Randy? He might be one of the best prospects in Southern California, including the southern section. So Peyton Waters is one to watch.
And he's great on defense and offense.
Yes.
He's a two-way player.
Yes.
He's like 2 for 1. You got a star on both defense and offense. He makes a lot of interceptions in the secondaries. He just makes plays. That's all you can say. He's great on offense. They can put him anywhere on the field. Granada Hills. Now, Birmingham won the Open. Granada won D1. Now, here's the kicker on that. Granada lost to Birmingham during the regular season. What was it, 29-28?
I think it was a one-point game.
It was a one-point game.
Yes.
So Granada went into D1, won that. John Stanley, the star,
Ran for
phenomenal
like 1 million
year.
yards. Yeah, Dijon Stanley. We're talking, I tell you what, Randy, and you might be the better one to put to context. When you think about Granada Hills athletics, okay, John Elway, and I'm
Ryan
sure
Braun.
Ryan Braun, there's a couple others. I mean, Dijon Stanley, we're talking maybe one of the top 5 athletes to ever come out of that school when you talk about what he accomplished at the football and in track, which I know we're going to get to in a second here. He might be one of their greatest all-time athletes.
I would rate him number 2 to
There you
Elway.
go. Okay, so there you go. I mean,
Because Elway was great in football and baseball.
No question. I mean, what he ended up being.
Right.
But in regards to what's accomplished in high school, Dijon Stanley's right there.
Yeah, you could make a case he's number 1 in high school, but we also know that Elway could have played Major League Baseball
Of course.
and had a Hall of Fame NFL career. So But Stanley was great.
Ryan Braun's another good one. I want to say there's another great baseball player that came out of there too. I'll have to revisit that in a second. But Dijon Stanley's right there.
I'm going to have to think about that for a
Yeah.
while. I'm sure there was. I mean, Granada Hills has had a great tradition. And you got to remember, he's not the only Stanley. Daryl's coming back. His cousin, who had 1,300 yards and a whole bunch of touchdowns as well.
We know he's going to be great on the football field. I know he runs in the relays. I don't know if he's a state champion 400 type athlete like Dijon, but he's only a sophomore. We'll see.
Whittier Christian, we got to know Frank Manriquez pretty well. He came in
another
studio.
great story.
Really good story. They win the title. Here's some video highlights from this team. They ran the ball incessantly. They beat Linwood in the championship game, and Frank did a marvelous job and was a wonderful guy to talk to.
I'll never forget, we had him on, or we were talking about it, and earlier in the year, I'll be honest, I didn't think they were gonna win the champion. I thought Linwood would get them. I didn't think they were gonna win, and not only did they win, they did it convincingly. It's a very well coached team.
They went on and they lost to Crenshaw in the state regional.
Right. That's right.
Crenshaw had too much speed for him, but the job he did there at Whittier Christian, really magnificent.
No, it really is, and it's a testament to coaching and the character by which you do it. Manriquez is one of the best.
Bella Rasmussen. Laguna Beach won a CIF title. Of course, Bella Rasmussen became the first young lady to score 2 touchdowns in one game. And Laguna Beach got a championship, well-deserved, lower level, over Diamond Bar.
That might be the best story of the year. One of them for sure, maybe the best, arguable. That's like a ESPYs type thing and what she accomplished and what she did. And you know what, when we had her on the show, she talked about the platform by which she was influencing, right? Girls coming out to football games and things of that nature.
She was very aware of what she had accomplished,
yes,
and she wanted to pass it on.
Well said, yes. And I admire that. I really admire someone that has the awareness to know, hey, I'm making an impact. The community has its eye on me, and I'm doing something bigger than myself. And it really is a great story.
She did land an NIL deal.
That is awesome.
Yeah, and deservedly so. She's got a sparkling personality.
Did she end up doing a Gatorade commercial? Does that sound
familiar?
familiar?
Yeah, she was in the background.
Something with
somebody
Super Bowl
was running
or
and she was chasing her, I think.
Okay, yeah. I mean, that's just so cool, man. Yeah, great story, Bella Rasmussen.
All right, let's talk a little girls volleyball. We'll start in the southern section. School you're very familiar with, Sierra Canyon. They were just tremendous this year. They went on to win the CIF championship. They were able to defeat Miracosta 3-0. They had Olivia Babcock is the story there. She went on to Pitt. She's going to play for Pitt. She had 510 kills this year. That's ridiculous.
We had her on the show. What a great young lady she is, full of charisma and just, but boy, when she's on that court, I'll never forget. So Stephanie Wigfall, the head coach, as Olivia Babcock was getting better and better her freshman year, sophomore year, her junior year, one of the things that Coach Wigfall was trying to instill in her was having more of a mean streak. And so that's what she got this year, a little bit more of a killer instinct when playing. And I think that's when you saw Sierra Canyon take that next step. And they won the Division I championship. That's the highest level you can win.
Yeah, and again, Babcock, I mean, those are mind-boggling numbers. It's like 5 kills for every sit that she played in. She was just phenomenal. On the city side, Granada Hills won it. Tom Harp won his 7th girls championship. Hannah was great, Hannah Bernstein. She had 243 kills, really the top player in the city section. And the Highlanders, no shock, they're always a city power. Tom
Harp, one of the greats. As we know, he's going to retire from coaching girls volleyball, so he goes out on top, and the Highlanders win another city title.
And now he wants to concentrate because he still will coach the boys team.
Maybe he stepped away from girls volleyball in the fall to coach flag football.
That's a possibility because he did originally coach football and actually helped coach John Elway when he was at Granada Hills.
So I don't know, maybe, maybe not. I don't know. I'm being speculatory.
I like that.
Yeah, no more girls volleyball for Tom Harp.
Yeah, he's done. But I really do like that. I do like that. Tom Harper, if you're listening, and I'm sure you're watching, we want you to coach.
How fun would that be?
Football.
That'd be pretty fun.
Oh, he's a crusty old gentleman. He would do a great job.
Yeah, I think he would too.
All right, let's turn our attention to Tark's favorite sport, which is high school basketball. I don't even know where to start here, but I guess we'll start with Corona Centennial, which won another Open Division championship in the southern section. They do a wonderful job there. Coach Giles He had all these stars, Devin Williams, who's going to UCLA, Aaron McBride, who's going off to Loyola Marymount, Jared McCain, and he wins the championship. Now, Harvard Westlake won the state open division. There's Harvard Westlake. They got revenge a little bit later. There's Dave Rabibo from Harvard Westlake holding the last trophy. Giles got the first one.
Correct.
But Rabibo got the last laugh.
Yeah, big time moment for David Rabibo, one of the good guys in Southern California coaching high school basketball, maybe one of the good guys in the whole country. And Harvard Westlake, you have to mention it every time they win anything in one transfer in 4 years, one transfer. So homegrown kids, developing a culture, going on and winning state
Hey, wait a
championship.
minute. The one transfer was Brady Dunlap.
Hey, man. But you know,
That's
he
a
came
pretty
in,
good
Yeah, but he
transfer.
came in 3 years ago. It's not like he was a one-year rental. So he came in as a sophomore, was there for his sophomore year, junior year, and now as a senior. And so in 4 years, maybe even more than that, I don't even know if they had anybody before that. We're talking years with one transfer. That's
Hart.
remarkable.
Came from Hart.
Correct. Came from Hart High School.
And also Trent Perry was their point guard, who was phenomenal all the way through the tournaments. And Trent got another year left. He's been offered by everyone. UCLA, everybody's offering.
He's going to end up being, he's one of the top prospects on the whole West region at point guard. I'm going to throw this out there. I'm feeling USC.
Really?
Yes.
Him and Bronny in the backcourt.
Yeah, I think Isaiah Collier's one and done. It's going to open it up for Trent Perry. Boogie Ellis is going to
I
leave
like
too.
that. That's good stuff.
Yeah, I appreciate
You're
that.
throwing out
We're going to see. It's
pretty good rumors here.
It's the dad thing going.
future dad. You still need future on that.
Oh, dad's good.
How about Notre Dame? Caleb Foster is a pretty good guard.
Man, pro.
What a year he had at Notre Dame and Sherman Oaks. There's their head coach, Matt Sargent, raising the trophy and a state championship. What is this, D2? There's so many divisions. I think it's
Division
D2.
I state championship.
They're Division I.
Correct.
Yeah, and Harvard Westlake's open.
Correct.
Yeah, okay.
Correct.
They're all over the
Yeah,
board
you got
with
it.
these
You
different
got no.
divisions.
You're on it.
Okay,
You're
no,
on
we're
it.
okay. Caleb Foster, we got to give Dusty Stromer some
Yeah,
love too.
Stromer, Mercy Miller, Dante Ogbu. I mean, that team was so talented. Mercy Miller's coming back. He's committed to Houston. Dusty Stromer, the 2022 Daily News Player of the Year. He's going to Gonzaga. And Caleb Foster, Daily News 2023 Player of the Year. Pro, man. Caleb Foster,
He's going to Duke. Let him go to Duke
is
first.
going to be a professional basketball player in the NBA no more than 2 years from now.
Really?
Yes.
Two and done.
He's
at Duke.
ready to rock.
He was phenomenal in the state.
Can shoot it, can go to the basket.
was
He's
great.
physical. He guards. He can finish through contact. He's amazing. Maybe one of the most impressive high school basketball players I've ever watched play.
Says Keon Kenzie of Taft High School. He averaged 24 a
Different
game.
ilk of
What's
player.
interesting about Kenzie, he averaged the exact same amount of points in high school as Caleb Foster did last year. They both averaged 24, and I'm not comparing the two.
Yeah, I know.
But Taft, it was my transition into
I
Taft
gotcha,
and
I
Derek
gotcha.
Taylor winning a city title. There he is.
DT.
Yep.
Yeah, this was a big moment for Derek Taylor. I want to say it was 10 or 11 years in between city titles. I think his last title came in either 2009 or 2011. Either way, double-digit years from winning his last city title at Taft. He took a little break, went to St. John Bosco. I think he won a state title there or Southern Section
did.
title there. Comes back to Taft, and that city title just eluded him year after year. And he finally gets one, like you're saying, with Keon Kenzie.
Yeah, I'm not even sure he was the favorite in the championship game over Fairfax,
Oh,
and he
man.
won it. But what makes this really amazing, they lost 11 games this year, Taft. You know, they were up and down most of the season, but they played their best when they had to.
Yeah, it's sometimes about playing your best ball at the right time, Randy. You're right.
Grant always plays well. They're the new dynasty in the city, right? And in the next division down in D1, the Lancers, two
Back to
years
back.
in a row.
Right.
Yeah, they beat Venice in this year's final.
Yeah, Coach Tariq.
He
Same
spells it
spelling.
wrong. He spells it right and gets it wrong. It's Tarek or Tarek.
He spells it T-A-R-E-K, but he pronounces it Tariq.
It should be Tarek.
I mean, I don't know about it should be, but that's just the way he rolls.
But that's how you do it, and your
I'm
way is the
Tarek.
right way.
You're Randy.
I am
I'm
right.
kidding.
You're Tarek.
Yes. Yeah, no, DJ Gaines had a great game for the Lancers. They played it at Pasadena City College. Yeah, I think it's about time Grant, they got to start putting Grant in the open.
Yeah, Gaines had like
time,
30 in that game, by the way.
It's time to step up here.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Okay.
You want to talk some girls basketball?
I'm just like that you agreed with
It happens to be on our sheet here. We got how much paper we got? All
me.
right.
Next.
Next, Sierra Canyon wins CIF D1 championship. Juju Watkins, 31-1. They win the championship. She's going on to USC. And here against La Jolla Country Day, she hits a jumper at USC.
At Galen Center. I mean, Juju Watkins, I think she ended up finishing averaging 28 points a game, 14 rebounds, 4 or 5 assists, like 3 steals. I think she averaged 2 blocks a game. She shot something like 50% from the field. I think she shot high 30% from three-point line.
Right.
Gets to the free throw line like 7 or 8 times a game. She is going to go to USC, and here's another one. So I'm saying Trent Perry to USC in a couple years. That was my one call. My Juju Watkins call. I think she will get them in the NCAA tournament. They'll win at least one NCAA tournament game.
Okay, I thought you were going to say the championship.
No.
Come on, be bold.
No.
You're going to be a father, for crying out loud.
Yeah, that is bold enough. That's bold enough for me. But I think they're going to be the top 3 Pac-12 team, get to the tournament, win a game. Maybe 2.
By the way, she graduates, but Arenas and Randolph, 2 really
Correct.
good players, return for Sierra Canyon.
Yes, Sierra Canyon's going to be right there. Now, I don't know. Etowah is still going to be the team to beat next year.
There's no question about that. They're next on my list.
Stan DeLuce has been let loose, and they could go for they're going to go for that open division title and maybe the state title again. However, Sierra Canyon, to make a good point, McKinley Randolph and Azalea Arenas are going to be the go-to players for Sierra Canyon.
Etowah wins the state title. This was fun over Archbishop Mitty of San Jose. Jada Sanders, the putback shot of the year to win the title at the buzzer.
Her only rebound of the game. Grabs it, puts it back in. They win the state championship. And I don't know if you know this off the top of your head. This was like your stat while they were making this run. They had like a crazy run. I'm
going to talk about it.
Yeah.
You want me to give it away?
Yeah. Mention who they beat on the road. It's
La
like a
Jolla
back-to-back.
Country
That's
Day,
what it was.
Sierra Canyon
Yes.
and Archbishop Mitty.
Unbelievable 3 games in a row.
Well, that's why Stan DeLuce was just
Coach of the
phenomenal.
year. Yeah.
You're giving away the rest of the script.
I'm on script.
You're on script. You're ahead of the script. Where are we here on
Look,
the
there's so much
script?
paper you can't even see me on camera. Look at that.
Well, that's probably a
Randy,
good
you
thing.
don't look at the monitor.
Okay, well, I'm looking down too much. All right, Westchester wins the Girls City Championship over Granada Hills. They won it 51-44. I like Riley Waugh, outstanding point guard for the Comets. And here's the celebration of their head coach, Dominic Grimes. Mariah Blake.
Yes, Mariah Blake.
Yeah, very good player coming back next year. Waugh was the leader this year, but Blake is incredibly talented.
I want to say Blake had like a 20-20, like something wild like that, like 18 points and 16 rebounds in that championship game to beat Granada. It really was about controlling Marianne Boko. That was the really good guard for Granada. Blake did a good job. She was the only one scoring was Boko, so it was an easy win for Westchester.
You know, we don't talk a lot of soccer on this show, but and we're not going to get into it deep, but we do have to talk about Birmingham again in the city. They win the city championship, but really that wasn't the story. It is the story. They were the best team in the city. It's their coach, E.B. Mott, and we covered it. Again, this has been recent. Is done after 23 seasons and 5 LA City section titles.
I'm curious to see what he ends up doing. I don't know if he'll coach high school soccer again. Maybe he just stays with the club stuff. I don't know. I know he's coached professional soccer and high-level soccer in his past. Curious to see what he does next, but an era at Birmingham has come to a close.
Did this surprise you?
Yes, I will say it surprised me because EB's got, a really good program at Birmingham. So I'll leave it at that.
Okay, so EB's gone, and we're going to be gone. We're going to take a 90-second break. Still got a lot to cover. Let's see, what are we going to talk about when we come back? We got athletes of the year, coaches of the year, all kinds of different things, teams that won national championships from this year, some interesting other topics, and some surprises. Back in 90 seconds.
California has always been a land of discovery. From historic gems to iconic beaches to top attractions. Let the Amtrak Pacific Surfliner be part of your journey as you explore more of the place we call home. Reconnect with the communities you love most, with the people you love most. Isn't it time you rediscovered Southern California?
What is going on here? I think we got our LA City CIF Southern Section Golfer of the Year here, Tarek Fatal. Again, this is our final show,
Get my.
so we're going to have a little bit of vacation
Well, you know, I
after
wanna-
tonight.
The summer's coming up. I got to get as much golf in before this baby comes, Randy.
Yeah, I like that tiger hat.
7
That's pretty
iron.
good. So are you going to be on LIV, the Live Tour, or are you on the
Well,
PGA side?
They offered Mickelson 200 mil, and I know there's an investment for $2 billion now that they merged. So I'm still deciding on which tour I want to play on.
And what's your handicap? Golf?
Actually honestly, I'm about at 11 handicap. I can actually play some pretty good golf, Randy. Have you ever been a pretty good player, or what's your?
I stink.
You
I'm
don't-
terrible.
Can't even hit it.
Not well.
Well, I just figured I'd get my summer getting.
Well, you look great in that outfit. You look like Brooks Koepka. Doesn't he look like Brooks Koepka?
Let me fix my. There we go. Got the
5
Tiger
majors
Woods.
for
I'll
Brooks
put my
Koepka.
7 iron right here. It's one of my favorite clubs.
All
I
right,
hit that about
Tarek,
175.
pick up your sheet. We got to get going. here.
Okay, easy there.
I like your golf game, though.
Thank you. At least I have
How
plans
often do
this
you play?
summer. I'm playing tomorrow. I got a tee time at 9:15.
You want to tell us where?
I'm playing at Balboa Encino. It's right there in the valley. I'm trying to get out at least once a week. That's
Really?
pretty good.
You
I
got
like
a
the-
pretty good life, don't
I
you?
walk the course.
You
I got
got
a
a
push
pretty good
cart.
life.
I get about 6 miles in. I do have a good wife.
No, not wife. She's good. She is
Oh.
great, but you have a good life. is
Got
what
it. I
said.
thought you said a good wife.
He
I'm
does
like,
have a
"Geez,
good
Randy,
wife,
my
and he has a
gosh."
good life. We're lucky to have him here. All right, let's move ahead here. Coach of the Year
Yes.
for us on the boy side. We're thinking of Brett Kay at J. Sarah for baseball. It's not easy to win the CIF Southern Section Championship, and he did it back-to-back years.
And I want to say, gosh, I wish I would. I think they've been there 3 years in a row. They lost to
They
Harvard
have.
Westlake a couple years ago, or last. They won it, lost to Harvard Westlake last year, if I'm not
No,
mistaken.
no. They've won the last two.
Okay, so they won. So they lost to Harvard Westlake 3
3
years
years
ago and have won the last two. So you're talking about a guy that's there 3 years in a row, won the last two. And, you know, Brett Kay, if you ever get a chance to talk with him, one of the best guys you'll ever meet. You know, that's what's so great about him. Runs a good program, does it for the right reasons. Brett Kay, I think he's kind of like our coach of the year, so to speak.
On the girls' side, we gave it away already. It's Stan DeLuce
He's
of
loose.
Etowanda. I mean,
It's a no-brainer. That's a
no-brainer.
no-brainer.
When you beat 3 teams in the top 10, including number 5 and number 1, on the way to winning a state title, back to back to back, away from your home site, you have a great player in Kennedy Smith. I
Oh,
get that.
she's
and
so
she's
good.
coming back next year, and they're going to be terrific again, the Eagles. Stan DeLuce is the guy.
Kennedy Smith will probably be a McDonald's All-American, and that's all there is to say about that. But that doesn't take away from the job Stan DeLuce did. I'll never forget talking to him about, hey man, how'd you slow down Juju Watkins? He literally said, if I have to make up a defense, I'll do it, and that's just the kind of brainiac he is.
Our female athlete of the year, Juju Watkins. Again, talked about it earlier, close to 30 a game, averaged 28, but she had some huge games. She had 60 in a game, right?
Correct. 60 against Notre Dame and Sherman.
Yeah,
Notre Dame Sherman Oaks.
she's just at a different level.
She's amazing, and I think anyone that can watch her live, you'll see how rare she is. She's a 6-foot guard. It just, you don't see that in girls basketball. Usually, if you're 6 feet, you're playing in the post, but it's kind of she's an example of the evolution of the game.
She really is, and she's going to be the face, you believe, of the WNBA down the
Yes.
road.
In
don't you?
5 years, she will be the WNBA's best player.
Okay.
Yep.
You're
saying
making
it.
a lot of bold statements here tonight.
Honestly, they're really not that bold. Saying
Okay.
Trent Perry's going to go to USC is not that big of a deal. Saying that Juju Watkins is going to get USC women's basketball in the NCAA tournament and win a game. I mean, is that bold to you?
No,
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
I just wanted to use the word.
Oh, got it. Okay. Thanks, Randy.
All right, speaking of bold, we couldn't decipher who the boys athlete of the year, but we went to track and field and football because these two guys play both and do a great job at both of them. Roderick Pleasant, the great sprinter from Sarah High School in Gardena, and Dejon Stanley of Granada Hills, both phenomenal track stars. When you talk of Pleasant, he has the S for Superman. When he runs, he is Superman. And the other guy was Superman too, Dejon Stanley.
Yeah.
These guys were incredible this year.
We've got some footage of Dejon Stanley running. I don't know if we're going to roll it, but he's those guys are such remarkable athletes, two-sport athletes, blazing fast, state championship record type performances. Right. I think there might be a chance that 2-3 years from now we'll look back and maybe think about how special this track and field season was with those two guys duking it out.
Well, I maintain that Roderick Pleasant might be the greatest sprinter in the history of California. Unbelievable.
Oh, yeah.
His times, national records, fastest boy in the United States. I think he's got the second fastest time in the world in his age group. Just a tremendous talent. All right, let's move ahead and talk about Freshman of the Year. What is he doing over there? Gio just jumped in for no reason at all. I don't know what
You're
Gio's
just jealous because go ahead.
trying to get on camera again. Gio's been doing that all year. Anyway, Freshman of the Year, we've got a few guys who really stepped it up. Brady Smigel, great quarterback at Newberry Park, threw for 3,500 yards and a state record for a freshman, 46 touchdowns.
Yeah, I think we've got some footage of him too. Newbury Park's finest. I mean, look at the way he drops back. Only a freshman. Unbelievable. This was a game against El Camino Real, I believe. The guy was just running up and down, throwing the ball up and down the field. This is like a little montage of just the deep ball as a freshman. And like you said, set records already for his age. He's going to be the #1 recruit, I think, by the time he's a senior.
The other thing I want to talk about is Jason Crow Jr. out at Linwood High School.
Mm-hmm.
He averaged, I've seen different numbers, but close to 40 a game. He had a 60-point game, probably close to another 60-point game. And again, a freshman, plays for his dad, who's the head coach. Unstoppable.
Unstoppable player for that level. I think what's going to happen is you're going to start to see him play different calibers of programs. He's going to challenge himself. You won't see quite as many points as 40 points a game, but he's one of the better players out there.
We're not done yet. We still have a few other things to look at. Games of the year, football, Norco 77 to 76. I don't remember who they even played. I don't even know.
Marietta Valley.
There it is. It's up on the screen, fortunately. Marietta Valley. By the way, this game is tied 69-all. Goes into overtime, and the Cougars won it by 1.
Defense
Optional.
optional.
Very optional.
You nailed it.
You know, speaking of defense optional, the other great game we thought about was Carson winning the city championship in softball over Granada Hills 12-11 after blowing a 10-0 lead.
I couldn't believe it. I could not believe watching that game. I was keeping an eye on it on Twitter and saw the scores go back and forth and back and forth. Carson was up 10-0 at one point, and Granada scored 10 runs in one end, as you alluded to. I know it's not on our rundown. I got to mention one more game of the year, and that's the 17-inning Westlake South Torrance baseball game.
You fixate on that all the time.
Man, it's because I was there. Like, it was... I got there at 3 o'clock, and the game didn't end till like 7:15. And then I had to come back on a Saturday morning at 11 a.m. and watch another 30 minutes of that game before it ended. I mean, you're talking about one of the longest high school baseball games ever. How is that not on our list?
I don't know. But you do look like Brooks Koepka. You do. You look like Koepka.
Man, I wish I could.
You're built like Koepka, aren't you?
I don't know about that.
I don't know about that
I wish
either.
I could drive it like him, though. 3
national championship teams, not on. Well, you got a stick in my face for crying out loud. 3 national championship teams from Southern California this year.
Yes.
Sierra Canyon, even though they lost their last game to Etiwanda, remember they beat Etiwanda
Girls,
in
yeah.
girls basketball for the CIF sectional title. So at 31-1, ESPN maintained that they were the national champion. The Loyola boys volleyball team did the same thing. They lost in their division, but they won the state, and they beat Corona Del Mar more times than they had lost to them. So Mike Boley's team's the best team in volleyball. That's 2 national titles. And obviously St. John Bosco in football, after beating Mater Dei and Sarah from up north in the state finals, they won a national title. That's unbelievable to have 3 national titles from our area.
It's a testament that shows how talented high school sports is in Southern California. It is a hotbed of talent in just about every sport: track and field, water polo, cross country, track, football, baseball, basketball. The list goes on. Swimming. I mean, some of the softball. We got Ella Parker going to Oklahoma. That's because that's how good she is.
15-second answers on each one.
Okay.
Stories of the year, Castaic baseball. 15 seconds.
Only second year of varsity baseball is remarkable. The school's only been around since 2019. Great story.
Shalhevet, the Firehawks, winning a girls' state title. D4, there's the man, Ryan Coleman, that injured in it. He had a great player in Yali Schwartz, who had 21 points against San Domenico in the finals.
Not only did they get there once, but they got there twice. Came up short the first time. It's a redemption tour. They get there a second time, and they get the victory. And I always say Ryan Coleman is your favorite coach's favorite coach.
Okay. Bella Rasmussen.
Oh, my God.
Still the biggest story for me, right?
We talked about her a little bit. You know, we're talking Bella Rasmussen's story is like something that would be on the front of Sports Illustrated, I think. Just how inspirational she was, and getting 2 touchdowns in a game. She's history. She made history.
Changing of the guard. Rob Wygod out as the commissioner in the Southern section. Did a great job for many, many years, and he's replaced by Mike West.
I'm not familiar with Mike West. I'll have to get to know him, of course, as he, gets into office, so to speak. But Rob Wygod, man, talk about a stand-up guy. I always enjoyed speaking with Rob Wygod. I'm sure he'll be around, hopefully at some events here and there. But a great guy to shake his hand, have a good conversation, easy to talk to, approachable. A very, very underrated aspect to being a leader.
Tarek Fatal, baby announcement with Jim Hill. This was big. You didn't know this was coming,
that's
did you?
good.
The reveal.
You guys are going to make me cry. No, man, that was a great moment. We didn't know if it was a boy or a girl, and we, let the world know on TV. It's cool.
Great job for you, by the way. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Eric Sodheimer, 40 years in the industry. You're seeing media with Jim Hill. Eric Sodheimer, the LA Times, 40 years.
Sandy, I mean, come on. We're talking about a legend. He really is a Hall of Famer. Just like you, Randy. Aren't you a Hall of Famer?
Yeah.
City Section Hall of Fame, right?
Absolutely.
That's the truth.
2019. We both went in together.
There you go. So we're talking about a guy that's been around a long time, seen some of the best athletes to ever do it. I think he might have covered John Elway.
He did.
There you go. I mean, that's how far back Eric Sondheimer goes, and he's still doing it. And last thing about Eric Sondheimer, a kudos to him adapting. We're talking about the newspaper for most of his career, and now social media and new age technology. Very good at it.
Last topic, great year for LA 36. The cheer championships, best ratings the station ever had. We had thousands and thousands and thousands of hits online, 3 divisions, 3 city champions. But the story for us, and we thank Pacific Surfliner for their sponsorship all season long, giving us this kind of quality program to showcase these young ladies and boys who performed at the cheer championships.
Can't get better than that. And man, cheer! What a great community event.
We're done. Now I'm supposed to. They gave us things.
Oh no.
We're supposed to What do we do?
I don't want to. Okay, man. I see warning instructions. I think I
is this
twist
thing gonna
it.
blow up or
Okay,
what?
here we go. 1, 2. Yeah.
Mine
okay,
doesn't.
Randy, point it over there. Do not, Randy, like this. Look, like twist the top.
Oh, you twist it.
There you go. No, look at the bottom. See the bottom?
Uh-huh.
Now twist the top like this. There you. Oh,
I did it.
Oh,
We
my
scored.
gosh.
Touchdown. SoCal Prep Report. This fits in with my Groban outfit. All right, we're done.
I'm working on
All
my thing.
right, the final 30 seconds. Thank you, Larry Zavala, Gio
Oh my
Labrada,
gosh, are we
and
gonna have
all
to
the
clean this
interns
up?
that helped us all season. You're in my picture again. You're
No,
ruining
no, we're
my
not.
shot.
We're on camera too. I thought you were a pro.
We'll see you August.
I thought you were a
probably
pro.
August 24th.
God, I'd
For
love to see
Tarek,
you on the course.
I'm Randy. 2 months from now,
I'm gonna give-
SoCal Prep
give the
Report
audience one real
returns,
swing here.
and maybe you'll see Tarek on the Live Tour. For the group, that's it. That's a wrap.
Keep rolling.
Good
keep
night,
rolling.
everybody.
Par 3.
It's a dog leg to the left.
Par 3.
It's to the left, for crying out loud. Oh, you hit the ball again. Can't you keep it on the fairway?
Give me a kick.
No.
It's on the green. We're on the dance floor.
All right, you're done. Great job, though.
God,
with
imagine
this.
you as my caddy. Oh,
Go
God.
ahead.
Hey, Tarek, I'm bored out here. Let's head into the
You
clubhouse.
do look like Brooks.